Hello, I'm Todd Gillingham, Chair of the St. Croix Valley Foundation Board. This year the Foundation celebrates its 20th anniversary. We've come a long way in the last 2 decades, and it's time to reflect for a few moments on our history and accomplishments. And it's a good time to honor our founders, our affiliates, and our donors for having the vision and the know-how to create this community treasure.
The original concept was that we needed a fund that could augment the United Way.
We all came to the Valley in the late 60s, early 70s, and I think all of us did fairly well, and so I think we also realized that there was something that was expected of us.
A lot of the people with money in the Valley were actually placing their money in the Twin Cities, in either the St. Paul or the Minneapolis foundations, and it seemed that we were losing an opportunity.
We knew there was going to be a passing of legacy money at some point to next generation, and so the goal was to do what we could to create something that people could give to that they had faith and confidence in.
It seemed to me we passed the hat, and originally just to have some money to buy stamps and stationery and stuff like that.
The founders had a big vision. They wanted a fund that would address the needs of the entire St. Croix River Valley.
We didn't want to make the foundation a creature of the Stillwater community.
If it was seen just as a Stillwater community project or just a certain group of individuals and their own philanthropic interest or whatnot, I don't think it would have had anywhere near the reach or success that it has had.
In the beginning, the energy of the founders was, of necessity, focused on building up a fund.
I wasn't thinking a lot about how we're going to handle the distribution of the funds when we didn't have anything to distribute, or we didn't have much to distribute. We were very focused on when we could afford to have staff.
John Baird talked about that someday this tiny stream would become a mighty river, and we quote John a lot.
And there were some interesting things that happened. There were some life insurance companies that were demutualizing. There were people that served on bank boards and their banks got sold. So there were people that came into some money that were trying to figure out what to do with the funds.
The founders saw immense potential for success in the St. Croix River Valley.
We knew that the community was going to grow, that it was going to become more diverse. We knew that the vacant land between the Stillwater area and all the surrounding communities, we knew that at some point in time, that's going to connect to the Twin Cities.
One thing about water is that it attracts people with resources.
We asked early board members and chairs why they thought the foundation had been so successful over the years.
We govern much by consensus. So when we come to an agreement, we support each other.
We've been able to strike a nice balance these last 5 or 6 years that has allowed us to grow both in our donorship of funds, but also in our fundraising.
Gretchen Stein likes to talk about the right people at the right time, and that's been true of our presidents. They have been exactly the right people at the right time. And that's really been true of our board chairs and our board members.
I'm overwhelmed at the professionalism of the staff.
And the other part of the growth has come from bringing in organizations that had endowment funds on their own and bring it in under the management of the St. Croix Valley Foundation, because the track record, the financial track record has been so good with the foundation and the way they invest.
Our staff is very small, and we haven't had a lot of executive directors. They've all been amazing.
Among these boards, there's well over 120 individuals in these 5 to 6 counties that are focused on and in the best interest of the Valley donors. And so for a person to put their money here, they know it's trusted and that their money is in good safekeeping.
Clearly, all the friendships, board subcommittees, affiliate boards working together and with other nonprofits has made a difference. Now, looking ahead, we live in a dynamic and rapidly changing world, and that will pose many new challenges and opportunities for our St. Croix Valley Foundation.
One of the biggest challenges that we're going to have is to take this next generation of givers and challenge them with the commitment to support the St. Croix Valley Foundation and the communities that are in this region.
So I think there's going to be major economic challenges and major demands for, needs and services that, governments are going to have a harder time meeting because of their financial problems.
As the St. Croix Valley Foundation becomes larger and there are organizations that depend more on it, I think the challenge will be for those organizations, their relevancy in the community, and that's a challenge the foundation is going to have.
We are continually looking for good people to serve on our board, people who know others in the valley.
I think the demographics of the region are changing somewhat, and I think with the opening of the new bridge, the population that's expected in western Wisconsin, I think will be raising some challenges for different communities.
These couple decades that we're in here, as the baby boomers, get ready to retire or retire, is going to be a period of tremendous transfer of wealth. You want some mechanism again to be able to capture that and to put it to use in the area where it was developed.
There's an old Chinese saying, "May you live in interesting times." Well, the Great Recession was an interesting time for the St. Croix Valley Foundation. Our survival is a testament to the wisdom, courage, and persistence of the board and our founders.
I think the reason that this foundation weathered this storm as well as it did was wise investment.
We, for the first time in the organization's history, we had to dig deep into our resources to be able to honor the commitments that we made, which meant in what's called invading principle. So that meant that we had to go into the block of money that we had set aside.
And in fact, if you were making a request from some organizations as well, we didn't fare too well through the downturn, and so we don't have the funds to grant. I don't know that this foundation had to say that.
It was during this time of the recession that our board went back to a number of the original founders and asked them if they would make an additional significant contribution. And we're really grateful that a number of them stepped forth with, actually a couple of them with equal to their original donation.
But during the recession, we were able, as contributions slowed down, to take advantage of the brilliant investment that had been developed for our portfolio.
Our board is optimistic about the future.
So at our 30th anniversary, I'd like to see us at $100 million.
Oh, this foundation has no boundaries. This is one of the fastest growing areas in the country. And so we're in a unique spot as a foundation.
Over 2 decades, the scope and mission of the foundation has grown.
So we now have 11 community foundations under our umbrella, and we learn from them every day. They learn from each other, and together we have a much deeper relationship with the community than we could ever have with just the overall foundation board.
One part of this that I think gets lost is the commitment that the foundation has made in general to educate people on the importance of philanthropy.
We have programs like Conversations of the Valley that bring probably 120 to 150 people together monthly to explore sometimes controversial issues in the Valley.
Board members talked about some of their favorite programs.
A lot of people will point to the Partners for the Future.
The relationship with the St. Croix River Association.
I remember there was like a request for a tuba in a band in western Wisconsin that could not afford a tuba, but now they have a tuba and it makes a big difference for their marching band in their school.
Operation Help, which is distributing dollars to individuals of need at any time.
The Management Assistance Grant Program, and that gives money to nonprofits to help them build their infrastructure.
We have, for example, 82 children this year in our school district who are homeless. That's incredible when we think of River Falls, Wisconsin. The foundation can provide all sorts of support to that situation.
We have a health and wellness fund now that is working on helping people with childhood obesity.
I think also of Grace Place in New Richmond, which is our Salvation Army homeless environment.
As for me, I'm most proud of our role in providing warm clothes, nutritious food, clean water, dementia-friendly environments, suicide prevention, and many other great causes.
To me, it's just a great success story.
And it's been a wonderful change in my character, I guess, but to be involved in this and to benefit from that greater idea that you're talking about.
It would just be wonderful if we could have enough funding so that we could take on some of the very basic social problems that are in this area.
What is really encouraging to me is that we have younger people on our board now, and they are every bit as committed and passionate and dedicated to this region as anyone else on the board.
It's our foundation, it's our money, it's our opportunity to put those dollars to work, and whether it's a food shelf or it's a nature center or it's a homeless shelter or it is an animal care center, and any of 100 different applications for philanthropy that improve lives and change lives. I think there's a spirit among the folks in the St. Croix Valley, and particularly among the leaders that are selected to serve on these boards, because they recognize the responsibility back to their peers and their neighbors to make the right decisions, responsible decisions, because we're being trusted with their money. And it's not only us, but it's generations to come. We're building endowments that navigate generations.
Going forward, we will continue to serve as the convener for Valley conversations about the important issues of our time and as a vehicle for addressing critical regional needs. We are committed to balancing margin with mission so that our donors will know they have found a safe and reliable home for the investment they have made in our region's future success. I'm looking forward to a fund exceeding $100 million by our 30th anniversary in 10 years. Likewise, I hope that we're at $100 million in terms of granting for the many needs that our valley has. And finally, thanks to everyone who's had a hand in our success on this, our 20th anniversary.